Danny, Stan, what a privilege to chat with you today. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Sure. Nice talking to you.
It's very nice to meet you and speak to you both. Danny, what is it about Stan that said I need to tell his story?
One, I love the Back to the Future 2 poster, man. That's like my
Thank
favorite
you.
moment. Um, I mean, Stan is this iconic household name, but you know, maybe the younger generations don't quite know all the history, all the story, everything he did for humanity, and that's all imbued in that shoe. So, as a filmmaker, I love who doesn't love a good mystery, right? And I felt like it was important to unpack the mythology behind the name.
Well, absolutely. And I love Stan that so many people think you're a shoe. Um, but you have this incredible story, incredible journey, incredible career. But I feel like I should ask you, who is Stan Smith?
Well, have you seen the doc yet?
I have. To you, who is Stan
Yeah,
Smith?
it's a it's a combination of things, obviously, but I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities in a lot of different ways and a lot of different arenas, and so I remember Arthur Ashe, would always be reading a newspaper or a magazine, more likely, and he never stopped, keeping up with what's going on and learning about things in the future and therefore, getting an opinion about what's going on. So I've been curious about things and have had opportunities to do so many different things and that I couldn't really be in one job all the time. And since playing tennis, I've been doing things for the Boys and Girls Club. I've been doing things with our company, hosting clients at major events. I've got an academy here. I've been writing for Tennis Magazine for many, many years and speaking and working as a trustee with our foundation that runs this RBC tournament, the big tournament after the Masters. And um, so I've had opportunities to do a lot of things and to spend time with my family. Um, and so I've been blessed with opportunities in my life.
Well, I mean, it is an incredible career and story. As I said before, you mentioned Arthur, and I feel like this film almost spends as much time with your relationship with Arthur as it does with you in some ways, and I mean that in the best of ways. I was wondering, in your eyes, how did that relationship affect you and change your life?
Well, I grew up in Pasadena, California, and didn't have a lot of diversity, where I lived and kind of a middle income family. But once I went to USC, I got to know more people. Then when I got on tour, um, I got to see the international scene, let alone the national scene. And so uh, Arthur was 40 years older than I. He graduated just before I went to college and had made an imprint on the pro tour early on. And then we started playing Davis Cup together, and that's how it all began. Really, we were on the same team in 1968, 69, and Donald Dell was a captain, and Arthur was the mainstay of the team the first year. Then we kind of joined after that, but we became good friends with Charlie Passerell was another guy that was part of that team, and Bob Lutz, my partner, and so uh, that's how we got to know each other. I got to develop an unbelievable respect for him as a person. I mean, as a player, he beat me a few times, beat me to death, and then I had a couple wins, and so we really competed against each other, but we were together on the Davis Cup team, trying to get this team goal of winning the Davis Cup. So then we formed a group of us formed a little company, and we did different investments and things, and his wife and my wife and his daughter and my youngest daughter got to be good friends, and so we spent a lot of time together because of that. And then I got to see what he was going through as a person when he went to a tournament. He wasn't always given the same opportunities that we were, just because he was black. So I got to understand a little bit more of his thought process of what went through. Plus he was a tremendous leader of our ATP. I mean, he wasn't just kind of sitting back and following the tour. He was one of the leaders out there.
It he's an incredible man, he's an incredible player, but certainly we've seen the impact he's had on sport, and we've seen, and your relationship with him was happening alongside this as well, and I could see the impact he had on you through this doc and the conversations as well. Amazing guy, amazing. And
Yeah.
Danny, I was wondering, in your mind, with all the time you've spent with Stan, what has surprised you most about it?
His humility. You talk about someone who's achieved and accomplished so much. I mean, if we all had our name on everyone's feet for decades and decades, I mean, uh, that could do a lot to someone's ego. And he's, from my experience, it's just like this overwhelming humility, this warmth that you just don't find in a lot of people that are at that iconic level. Um, so that's it.
Absolutely. Stan, one of the things that is said in the film is the best gift we can give any child is hope. And I was wondering, from your perspective, why that is so important, and how do we do that?
Well, one of the things that I usually give out some quotes to our group of kids at the academy. And last week, I one of my favorite quotes is, "Comparison is a thief of joy."
Hmm.
And I think that comparison on a negative basis can sap the hope out of you if you just don't think you can measure up with the other kids. And there's so many different, and it's not just kids, it's all of us really, is to, we're looking at somebody else, they're doing better, they, in all these different ways you can compare someone. And so, uh, you know, I think that people can really be satisfied with their the talents that they've been given, and to take advantage of those things in a very positive way, and not dwell upon things that are bad. Now, certainly another thing you can do is, if someone is struggling, if you can help them, it actually might be more beneficial to you than the help you're giving to that person, because it gives some hope to that other person as well. So, um, you know, I found that personally, when I get down or discouraged, I might try to go out and help somebody else, and that really gets me in a better frame of mind.
Absolutely. I know we're running out of time, but just wondering for you both. I mean, Danny, you've spent tons of time with Stan, and Stan, you've competed at the highest of levels, won at the highest of levels. I was wondering, in both of your minds, what it means to be a winner. What is a winner? A true winner?
Stan, you want to go first?
Well, it's simple to me, and that is that you want to get the most out of the talent that God's given you, whatever it may be, and if you can do that, you get to close to 100% or 90% of those talents that you've been given, then I think that should be your goal.
It's a tough question. I mean, winning, I definitely think we are living in times in a culture which is fueled by social media of winning is everything, right? But how do you define winning? How do you define contentment? How do you define happiness? So I think it's different for everyone. For me, it is moving people with my filmmaking. And if I've done that, that gives me the most satisfaction. So that's for me.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time, both of you. Honestly, I love the film. It's incredible. Stan, it's a privilege to speak with you, and as well with you,
Thank
Danny,
you.
as well.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You
All right,
too.
you can do it.
Thanks. Bye bye.